Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing. And in today's video, I want to talk about Wix Vibe because Wix has a AI builder that came out around August, and it's really interesting to check it out. And it was something that I didn't know they had until just a few days ago. So one thing I did know that Wix had was they acquired Base 44 back in June. So if you look at this article, Wix acquired Base 44, which is a vibe coding tool, and back in June of this year. And Base 44 is pretty awesome for building apps and all kinds of things that you want to build. And I've used it to build a couple of things, and I have a few apps in here that I've worked on. But there also is this Wix Vibe, which is a AI website builder that's similar to Base 44. You'll notice they have a similar experience here when you start, just a search bar, and you can turn your ideas into beautiful sites. And so I tried this out and I built a site inside of Wix Vibe. One of the things I think is really cool about Vibe is that it has the same Wix ecosystem. It's built on the Wix ecosystem as Wix Studio and the Wix editor. So if you want to upgrade to a premium plan, you can do that right here. And you can get a domain name to go along with it through Wix. And so all of that ecosystem works as you would expect it to work. You have your dashboard here, which pulls up the Wix dashboard. So this should look very familiar if you have used Wix at all. And so you can connect certain things to it. For example, there's a CMS collection in here connected to my Wix Vibe website that has different things going on in my website. Now, the cool thing about this is when I started this whole process of building this website, these CMS collections didn't exist, and Vibe actually created them for me automatically. And so it created these four CMS collections based on the prompting that I was doing over here on the left-hand side, adding prompts to this. And so you can connect with certain apps inside of the Wix ecosystem directly. And so this is a way to get your vibe coded website out with a domain name, with a premium plan, with the hosting, all of those things all through Wix's regular ecosystem. And you get some of the same tools as you would expect here in the backend automations. It's not exactly the same. It looks to be a little bit different, but it's got a lot of the same structure behind it. And you also have the code. So you have the code here. And from what I could tell from prompting Wix Vibe is that it's built on the React framework for the code. And so I asked it a few questions along the way, and it explained a couple of things to me about how it works. It does have a GitHub integration, and so you can integrate it with that if you're into development and coding. And so Wix Vibe is really a good solution for those who want to have more custom code on their website than Wix Studio or the Wix editor. You can build anything in here like you can on the other websites, but it's really for that purpose. Let me show you the site that I built, and you can see here. So I built a site based on multi-location, unifying multi-locations for businesses. So if a business has 5 locations that are all spread out across different websites, then I am migrating them all into one website. And so this is the website it came up with, and there's still a few errors that need to be fixed, like there's some spacing here. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this website. It functions. I came up with a nice uh, color palette style guide, and I even had it create a brand style guide page, which I'll show you in a second. But I just went through and prompted, and you kind of see some of my prompts back and forth here, and it's just building out the website for me. And the functionality of how this works is really similar to a lot of the other vibe coding tools that are out there right now. There's a bunch of them, Base 44 being one of them, but there's Replit and Lovable and all these other tools that are out there. And it's really similar to how these other tools work. The difference with Vibe is you're going to get into the Wix ecosystem. So here's the services that it came up with. So I'm just kind of scrolling through so you can see the quality of the website. It's pretty good. There are some things, like I said, that I would change, but overall, it's pretty good. And it came up with a lot of the images, and it came up with a lot of the content based on what I asked it to do. And I liked some of these breakdowns that it came up with. So this is the brand style guide page. This is just for me to kind of think about moving forward. So it has the color palette. It's got typography. And so I created this unique page for it. But essentially, anytime you want something new, let's say I wanted a new page, I have to just go over here and prompt it. So I have a privacy policy, terms of service. Let's say I also wanted a page about the team that is behind this service. I would just come in here and prompt this and say, can you please add a team page to this website and include the following information? And then the Wix Vibe will go to work creating that page. And so it's all based on prompting. Now you can get in here and edit specific things. So you can go in here and you can click this edit and you can actually get into specific things. Like let's say I wanted to change out this image. I can replace the image. And so you do have some editing ability here, but this is not the same as Wix Studio or the Wix editor. It's its own editor. And so the way that it works, the way that it functions, the way that you edit things, it's all different inside of Vibe. And so they are working on, or there's a feature request right now that you can kind of move this over into Wix Studio or the Wix editor after you create it. That doesn't exist right now, but that is something that might exist in the future. So you could start with Vibe and then it could be pushed over into some other editor inside of the Wix ecosystem. I really hope that they do that because there are things that in here that I would like to change inside of Wix Studio. It's a bit easier for me than just to prompt back and forth because sometimes the prompt doesn't get it right exactly from the beginning. I have to prompt it a couple times. But that being said, to get a website done and finished and designed really quickly, Vibe is so much faster because I just put in a few prompts here and it went to work designing this for me. So you can go and you can change this heading. I could change this text. I can change the font. I can get these full design features over here. So you can do a little bit of manual editing if you want to. You can also click on something and it will put it down here in the prompt. So I could say something specific about this container. I want to change this container to have a different background color, or I want something to be different about this container. Then it's going to edit that specific thing down here. And if you don't want it, you just delete it from there, and then you can just ask it to do whatever you want. So I'm not going to necessarily show how to do that, any changes here on this website, but it's just prompt based. It's prompt based changing. And of course, you have the different pages you can switch from. You have the switch between the different breakpoints. If you want to see, hey, what does this look like on mobile? Does it look good? And you can go ahead and work on it from these different breakpoints as well. I do recommend, if you are going to use Vibe, I do recommend still checking all the breakpoints between tablet, desktop, and mobile, because there were things that were not optimized for mobile at the beginning, and I had to prompt Vibe to do that, to update the mobile responsiveness and change different sections. So I really like this, and in terms of getting to a finished product much quicker. And then hopefully at some point we'll be able to export this into Wix Studio or the Wix editor and then further customize it from there. You do have this style here, which kind of acts like your site style. So if you want to change your theme or your colors or your typography, you can do that. Again, it is different than the other editors. And so what you're going to see in here is going to look a little bit different. So I would say don't expect it to be like the other editors. It's a different system, at least for now. And so we'll see where it goes from there. And then you have your preview and publish up here. So if you want to preview it, if you want to publish it, I have published mine so you can see what it would look like in a live state. You can preview it too. And then this is what it looks like on my screen here. So lots of really cool things. All the links work down here to the services page. It has some nice animations, some entrances where things kind of hover up on entrance. And I'm really happy with what it produced as far as being a free AI tool. And then, of course, the advantage that I really like about this is that if you wanted to get this with a live domain and hosting, you just have to upgrade it like you would a regular website for Wix. So you just have to pick your premium plan, and then you have to connect your domain name. But then you can have a live website and it would be up and running, and then you get access to the same or similar dashboard features here. And then you can manage it just like you would any other Wix website. And this will show up in all of your sites, in your site dashboard inside of Wix. So it will show up there. You can edit it from there. But to find it, you have to type in Wix Vibe to get here at the beginning. And then, of course, there's other settings here. So if I were to go to all sites, then it would show up with my other websites that I have. And then going to the dashboard is this dashboard over here. And there's even some things you can do to change your editor if you want to. You can make it dark, or you can make it system default, or whatever you want there. And then it's just showing you here that there are changes saved automatically in the cloud, version history, and you can hide the chat or you can open the chat. So pretty cool builder. I think it's going to be good. Wix is obviously moving in this direction with base 44, and then with Vibe, it seems like there's some good things happening here. It's still in beta, so we'll see what happens with it long term. But I was really happy with this and excited to see that they've built an AI builder in their own ecosystem, because it makes it so much easier to take those next steps. That's what happens with a lot of these other tools, is you have to connect other pieces to it in order for it to actually go live. And then there's hosting and domains and all these things you have to figure out, and databases, but they're using the Wix ecosystem here to power a lot of that, and then using the code AI prompting tool, the Vibe coding, to actually build the website. So if you want to check this out, anybody can use it as far as I know. You just have to go to Wix Vibe, and then you do have a daily credits limit here. So 50 credits left per day, which is pretty generous. If you think about all the different tools that are out there, a lot of those are renewed on a monthly basis, but 50 credits per day is pretty awesome. So I might even have a live site on this at one point. I might take this site live at some point with its own domain name and hosting, just to test this out and see how it would go. And I've been really happy with the quality of the copy, the just everything that it's produced. It's not perfect, of course. It's still not as good, I think, as human hands on the project, but it can get you there really quickly, and then you can make further changes from there. And if there's any aspect of this you want to change, if I wanted to change this image, for example, I can replace that image, and then it's going to show the same ecosystem that you're used to from Wix. So this is the media manager. So you could go into media from Wix. You can use their media to upload to your website. So it's all built in with their own system. I know I've made that clear and have repeated that several times, but I think that's the real advantage of Wix Vibe. If you're already using Wix for Wix Studio or the Wix editor, if you want to try this out, and if you'd rather just have AI build your site for you, and you kind of guide it and prompt it and make the changes you need to make, then this can be a really great option. And I am really happy with how this turned out. I still need to fix some spacing here for this hero section, but overall, it has been really, really cool. And like I said before, it connected the CMS data sets for me automatically. So you can see those are in green. And so I have my blue sections here, but the green section is connected to live data. And so if I wanted to edit that, I just have to go into my dashboard, my CMS, and then in my target industries, these are some of the things that are in there. In my migration process steps, I can edit all of this here through CMS. So if you understand how CMS works, that's what it's leveraging there anytime you see the green. And so that's how you would edit those fields in particular. But the rest of them that are blue, you can just click on and edit those, and then you should be good. Like this title here, for example, if I wanted to edit that, then I can click in and I can do all kinds of things in here. And it's really pretty flexible with what you can do. And the better you understand the Wix ecosystem and code and all of those things, the better you can prompt Vibe to get you to a better result overall. So definitely check it out. I was really impressed with it. I couldn't believe I didn't know about it. I just found it through an email from Wix or something like that. And I'm really glad I found it. And I hope that they continue to develop this, because I would love to have a tool specific in the Wix ecosystem that could build AI websites, because that way I know it's going to fit in with the framework I'm already used to for building sites for clients and for myself. And I already know how all these other things work. So now I just have to focus on prompting the AI in the right way. And then if they eventually make it so it can be imported or exported into Wix Studio or to the Wix editor, even better, because then you can take the starting point that the AI gave you, and then really customize it from there however you want to. So really excited about this. Go ahead and check it out, and hope you enjoy it. And just wanted to do a quick video to showcase that along with Base 44 and this acquisition, because I think they're all related together to creating something to the effect of this that eventually can be really, really useful for Wix. I'm really excited about where this is headed. So that's what I have for today's video, and I will see you in the next video.